Hello everybody, this is Becky at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I'm just going to share some projects and then do a quick tutorial. Okay, so yesterday I followed Barb Owen's background technique, and I started with a polka dot napkin, and I did my edges in the black and some, I didn't have what she used, but I have like rub and buff in different colors. And then this is what I did here, and it says each new day holds many small gifts, and I really like how this turns out. And this is going to go out in some Happy Mail. There's some stenciled flowers, and I also used a stencil to pull some of the gesso back off like Barb did in her tutorial last week. So yeah, I'll put the link to Barb's channel and that video in the description box. Then I made a background up, and I didn't like it, so I chopped it up into little bits, and I made some 3x3 cards doing the stained glass technique, where you just cut them out and then arrange them on a piece of black cardstock. And I just think these make really nice little tuck-ins if you just want to add a note to a package or with a gift. So I made those. And then I created these. And these are a lot of fun to make. And we're going to make them from scratch all the way by ourselves. That's the next thing we're going to do. I know you can buy this paper where you can scratch off, but you can make it yourself with just crayons and some paint. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. So I made this one, it says hello my friend, and then I made this one that just says hello. All right, so we're gonna create the main focal piece. I'm not going to make the card with y'all because I've made cards before, and basically once you get the main picture, you just mat it up with whatever colors you want to pull out of your image. So I used a turquoise, a black, and a white. And then I just have 110-pound cardstock that I cut and folded. So those are the two cards. Now we're going to make the background. And the crayons I used are these Metal FX that I got for on clearance. And you don't have to do any, you just want to make it colorful under here. So you can just act like a 3-year-old and just scribble to your heart's content, because that's the goal. You just want to cover your area. And what I've done is I cut some 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch pieces of the 110 pound cardstock, and I've taped it to this board. When you're taping the paper down, make sure you always put the tape on your skin before you put it on the paper, like this. Just put it on there, and that removes some of that sticky adhesive. I did not do it on those other two cards, and when I pulled the tape up, it did pull a little bit of the paper, but it didn't really matter because I ended up cutting it off anyway. So I just like to do it like this. And if I'm really wanting to make the whole thing go really fast, I won't trim it and mat it. I'll just use this with the little white border that I've created where I covered it with tape. So just grab a crayon. You want the color to go on, you know, kind of dense. And like I said, you don't have to have any rhyme or reason, because not all of it's going to show in the end. Do some so it goes off the edge. And then grab a different color. And you're going to cover the entire area here. You sometimes might have to brush some of the crayon, I want to say crayon boogers, but you know what I mean, the little bits of crayon. It doesn't even matter if you overlap a little bit on some of them. You just want to get color all over it. So I just wanted to get out of the house for a few minutes, and I went down to Easley and got me some lunch at the Panera Bread, and went into PetSmart, and I bought some of the Sheba little something perfect portion or something, I think is what they're called. And I like to take stuff like that down to Piper. It's like a treat from Grandma. I know y'all think I'm crazy about that cat, and I am a bit crazy about that cat. I hope Greg always takes really good care of her. Scott says I've imprinted on her. She thinks I'm her mommy cat. Could be right. I know you're all thinking, oh, that looks horrible. What is she doing? Believe me, this won't matter a bit what this looks like here in a minute. And I haven't decided what kind of picture I'm going to do or anything. I said I want to show them how I did that. And I know there's probably other people on YouTube that have already done this, and I'd be glad to give you credit. If you want to take full credit for it, you go for it. I don't take full credit for any ideas myself, because there's always going to be somebody, that's my idea, you know. So I try to avoid saying it was my idea, because I am not going to go through a million videos to see if I'm the first one, because I know that I'm probably not on this one. This is probably old as the hills before video. So people have been asking, since the cottage is getting fixed up, if we're planning to move, and this is only a temporary living situation for us. This little house belongs to my sister-in-law, and I know that she would like to have use of it again, because she uses it as a place to stay when she's in the Greenville area managing property issues or her job and things like that. So I know she wants to have access to it again, and hopefully in the near future. So yes, we are still looking for land. We went out and looked at some last night, and what we're running into is there's no building regulations at all up here. So you could have like a $400,000 house next to a single wide mobile home, which I don't have anything wrong with people that live in mobile homes. Most of my family lives in mobile homes. It's just what that does to property value when they mix like that. It just, your $400,000 house will lose value, just like the single wide mobile home. So there's no protecting investment, if you know what I mean. And which is really sad, because there's no way I'm going to pay over $100,000 for something that's going to decrease in value instead of increase. Okay, that's enough on that anyway. All right, it's totally covered. All right, then you're going to grab a paintbrush and any color of acrylic paint that you want. The reason I'm using this one is it lost its label. I think it's a dark navy blue, not a black, but whatever acrylic paint. It doesn't even have to be expensive acrylic paint. You're just going to put a layer of paint over all of it. And I did a bonehead thing, and I didn't bring a cup of water to put this paintbrush in. So I'll have to run to the kitchen to put this in a cup of water. But it won't take me but 2 seconds to run in the kitchen. Just cover the whole thing. It doesn't even matter if you go over the tape a little bit. You just want the whole thing covered. Nice and as smooth as you can get it, and try not to leave any low spots where you can kind of see the paper between or underneath. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to stick this in cold water, and then I'm going to dry that with the dryer. All right, now we'll use the heat tool, and that might be a little noisy. But you're going to dry it. Looks like I got a little spot right there that's peeking through. I'll just utilize that when I do my scratching off. And to do the scratching off, I have these little, I think they're for doing fingernails. They've got a point on one end and then kind of an angled edge on that end. I don't know if you can see or not. I don't even know if this stupid camera's going to keep running. So that's one end, and then the other end is just a pointed end. But you want to get this dry. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the image right at the tape line with a pointed end. And I use a ruler when I do that too. So you'll need something pointy and a ruler. Now you can create patterns, you can draw pictures, you can write words, because anything that's got like the sharp tip that's like a pencil, you can write with. The only thing is, as you're scraping this, sometimes the paint will want to peel past where you are actually wanting it to come up. And if you're just real careful and work the paint away on the edge that you want and leave the residue there, the next step will hold all of that other, where it's pulled up, down. Because after I did the scraping, I went over it with you can use Mod Podge. I used some Martha Stewart decoupage that had glitter in it. So you're just going to want something to seal the surface once we get our scrape picture in. We're getting there, almost there. I know this is not much fun to watch somebody dry stuff, and it's probably really loud, but, and I got a spot there and a spot there. We'll have to make them fit in the picture. Okay, it's probably dry enough that we can do something now. I'm just going to peek, make sure we're still recording. We are. My camera's just been acting crazy. I probably should have my glasses on, but we'll do the best we can with what we got going here. Yeah, I think we'll be good. Let's see here. You want to come back just a little bit from the seam on there, because the tool, whatever tool you're going to use, is going to kick out some. Might not be over far enough. I don't think I am, because that's looking awful blue. And your ruler will get some paint on it. So you don't want to use something that's going to use something you don't mind getting a little paint on. This ruler sees all kinds of stuff. And see, when you mark it away, yeah, I've got it now. It pulls the paint back off and exposes the crayon, which is really kind of cool. I just do this step. It makes a nice clean edge this way. You just want to be careful about scraping back and forth too much, because you can work your way through your paper, and you don't want to do that. I think I got these nail things at Walmart, which we rarely go in Walmart, but I think that's where I got them. I don't think I got that on there, but we'll see. It's a little, get a little bit more light down here, maybe that'll help me. I saw PetSmart's having an adoption thing this weekend, trying to find homes for cats and dogs, and they'll have a bunch of dogs out there, they said, this weekend. And they had some cats in the little kitty cat in the window display, and the lady that manages them was there, and she said, "Don't you need a cat?" I was like, "I've got a couple. Can't touch any of them, but I've got some." I'm really hoping I can get Angel Cat tamed, because he seems to want to be tamed. He's starting to do the talk to me. He talks to me in the morning if he's out there waiting when I get up. I don't think I'm getting in the picture there, and I don't know why. Let's come over a little bit more. All right, that time I know I did. I can feel the difference. There you go. And you can see some of the other colors. You just want to create a little bit of a border. I'm giving up on the ruler because I can see better doing it by hand, and I don't care if it's a little wonky. That just shows it's handmade, right? All right, I've got these dots that appeared. Maybe we'll make those just some little. Almost looks like stars, doesn't it? So I guess what we could do is, what could we do that's got stars in it? You're Out of This World. Let's see here. Oh, see how it did? It pulled the center of this up. So you got to be careful not to get too aggressive like me. This would be something fun to do to your kids. They could scratch out their own picture. You just might have to help the younger ones. If we add some more stars, I might make these look better. Oh, see, you gotta be careful. That one says, "You're awesome." And see, I've got all of these little crayon and paint boogers everywhere now. All right. Then as you're peeling the tape off, get your inside edge closest to the picture and kind of pull away from it like that. See, it's grabbed some of the paper even with me taking the time to remove some of the adhesive. Use this to pick up some of those crayon boogers. And see, the more color, little teeny bits of color you put on in the background, the more color will show through. All right. I'll trim all that paper away anyway. So now I've got this, and I'm going to put a layer of this multi-surface durable glitter finish by Martha Stewart, and I bought this at Tuesday Morning for $3.99, and I like to shake them up because the glitter settles. And of course I didn't bring a paintbrush in here. Let's see if we can use a makeup sponge. Let's see how that'll work, because I don't want to take the time to go get I'm not too worried about covering all of the edge. All right, now where I pick the center of this Y up, I want to make sure I don't go push up against that. I want to be able to seal it down. So I'll go down on that one like that. And I don't want to leave this sponge sitting in that glue either, because it's picking up some of the blue paint. And I don't want, you know, to get a bunch of blue paint in there. And then once you get the whole surface of it covered, you can come in, pick some of this up, and just go smoothly. And it doesn't matter if it starts looking a little opaque, because it dries clear and then the glitter will show. I've never used a makeup sponge to apply Mod Podge or anything, but sorry, I went quiet, concentrating. All right, so that's totally covered now. wipe this off on this paper towel. There we go. All right, and I'll let this dry. I'll trim it, I'll mat it, I'll make a card, and that's all there is to that technique. So if you give it a try, please let me know that you did, and I'll come watch your video, and we'll see how many cards we can get turned out. I'm just thinking that these would make a really fun like gift set to make a bunch of cards up for people. So that's what I'm working on. Thanks for watching. Bye.